And the attention now turns to National Tawhid Jamaat, the local Islamic group being blamed for the attack. And for more on this terror group and more on the story, we go to Gadi Adelman, a counterterrorism expert and advisor. Gadi, thank you so much for being here. First, the Sri Lankan government coming under fire today in the wake of the attacks. Both the U.S. and India had warned of an imminent attack weeks ago. That warning never made it up the food chain to the prime minister. So how could it have not been run up the chain?
You know, this was a magnitude, just a colossal drop of the ball on the part of Sri Lanka's president. The president and the prime minister have been feuding for the last several months. And what happens when you put your politics ahead of your country's safety, this is the result. And what happened was the president actually shut the prime minister out from all security briefings. And the prime minister's office had no idea of the warnings that even had come through. And these warnings were so specific that it named names of individuals that were suicide bombers. It listed their addresses. It listed where these attacks would take place. This was literally handed to them early on in the month, and nothing was done about it.
What do we know about the group here, the NTJ? What do we know about their ideology?
Well, they're an Islamic group, and like any other Islamic group, their ideology is going to be the same, unfortunately, to put it simply. And I think what we're going to find, because the NTJ did not have the capability of pulling this off by themselves. This was far too advanced. And we're going to find, as this investigation unfolds, that it leads back to groups in Syria, be it al-Qaeda, be it ISIS. It is without a doubt they had outside help.
But at this point, none of those groups, the al-Qaedas, the ISIS of the world, nobody else has actually claimed responsibility here or playing a role, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Correct. So no group whatsoever has come forward to admit responsibility.
Something else that we learned today is that you had more unexploded bombs that blew up as police were trying to defuse them today. 87 more detonators were found, apparently abandoned at a bus stop. So, I mean, is it safe to assume that the terrorists weren't done yet?
It is, absolutely. And, with this memo that the Indian intelligence had given to Sri Lanka, the one that you spoke about that I just mentioned as well, in that memo, it listed, as I said, addresses. Those were the addresses of the safe houses. This is where we saw the Sri Lankan authorities go immediately following these bombings. Had they done this prior, none of this would have happened. So there is no doubt 87 detonators found in a bus stop. There's no doubt that this would have continued.
All right. Gadi Adelman, counterterrorism expert and advisor. We thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.